Okay, we're going to start with The Nation. Dismissed 19 states' case against EFCC. Attorney General Federation tells Supreme Court. Edu, improved oil production will boost forex inflows. Export halted for 90 days to crash cooking gas price. Uncertainty envelops the PDP as battle for control rages. Court summons Herbert Wigwe's cousin over will. Najomo's transformative leadership in NCAA. And Tinubu canvasses use of CNG as alternative to petrol. Okay, which story?
Okay, I have two short stories there, but let me take one for time. The federal government has announced the stoppage of the export of locally produced liquefied petroleum gas, that's the LPG, also known as cooking gas. The measure is to mitigate the price of the gas that has been, soaring steadily ever since. So Minister of State Petroleum Resources, Gas, Honorable Ekbo, said short-term solution with effect from November 1, 2024, NMPCL and LPG producers are to stop exporting LPG produced in country or import equivalent volumes of LPG export at cost-reflective prices. He said that this was in his press statement, which the spokesman of the minister, Louis Iba, had issued already. And in terms of the pricing framework, he directed Nigerian midstream and downstream petroleum regulatory authority to meet with stakeholders in order to derive the pricing framework within the 90 days. This is as a result of the fact that gas is becoming very, very expensive. A lot of Nigerians are not able to afford the gas, and if we keep exporting, we're not even meeting the needs that we have here. So now that they're going to cut out the exporting, see how we can probably bring down the price of gas so that the average household will be able to have gas.
This gas matter cost. I was settling my parents' quarrel. My parents were having small quarrel, and the entire thing I say is just money. That mommy cooked food, he got burnt because of gas. Pumping machine, I say, mommy and daddy, it's just money.
It's money.
Don't worry, we will increase allowance because by the time we have more money, we will have less of this. Let's still talk about gas. The CNG gas, the president is speaking about it. So he was advising Nigerians to move to the compressed natural gas, which is a bit different from the cooking gas as an alternative. That if you were supposed to use petrol 1,100 and what you would buy with the same measurements, the standard cubic meter is 200 naira if you're using the CNG. So he was speaking about that, saying that the Nigerian Independent Petroleum Company, NIPCO, was talking to them at the State House in Abuja yesterday, and he said that they've introduced incentives, and this is good for Nigerians to note, for commercial motorists to convert from petrol to gas, and it's going to be free of charge if they go through the NIPCO route. He also gave this statement through Mr. Bayo Ononuga to the president of NIMCO, and the conversation was around the fact that we want to get more commercial, private business owners to get into this business and let it spread so that the effects, this pinching cost of petrol on motorists and users would reduce.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah, so I have the boost on foreign inflows. They said Nigeria needs improved oil production to beat forex supply challenges and reduce pressure in the foreign exchange market, says the Minister of Finance, that's Wale Edu. He said he spoke this at a conference, an ongoing conference at World Bank, IMF annual meetings in Washington, D.C. He said the key issue about foreign exchange shortage is supply. As an oil-producing country, we just need to get our oil production up, and we'll deal with that forex shortage and foreign exchange pressure. He also said that the reversal on localization of trade and also issues around corruption has limited the opportunities of developing countries for investment and to effectively tackle poverty. They're saying that once there's more forex, the poverty level in the country will reduce. So, but however, they said the IMF has downgraded Nigeria's economic growth this year by 2 points, from 3.1% to 2.9%.
Right. Okay, so I took a story yesterday about the 19 states governors' suit challenging the constitutionality of the creation of the law that created the EFCC. I took that story yesterday, and yesterday we're waiting for the judgment. So yesterday, the Supreme Court, in that judgment, they said the court reserved judgment on that ruling. However, the Attorney General of the Federation urged the Supreme Court to dismiss the suit completely because the issues raised by the plaintiffs, as the 19 governors, had already been resolved by the appellate court. Fagbemi, that's AGF, urged the Supreme Court in a notice of preliminary objection that the Supreme Court should lack the jurisdiction to hear the case because the plaintiff's grievances is what only the Federal High Court could adjudicate on. So we'll see how that goes from there. Moving on now quickly to the Punch. PDP crisis, anti-Damagum plot taken as INEC meets on Thursday. On your dam, operators under pressure over rising boat demands in flooded communities. How Bobrisky spent night in FCID female cell. 250 billion naira debt. Telcos seek NCC approval to stop bank transfer services. FG bans cooking gas export over rising prices. Local government autonomy, FG plans sanctions against defaulting states. And Nigeria still borrowing amid high debt costs. Okay, which story?
Yeah, so controversial cross-dresser Idris Okuneye, popularly known as Bobrisky, is currently under detention at the Force Criminal Investigation Department, Annex, Lagbon, Lagos State. He said he spent the night in a female cell in the police facility. A source confirmed the development and said that he was detained in a female cell because of his controversial lifestyle, that there were no female detainees as at the time that he was detained in the facility. He said Bobrisky was brought to the FCID Alagbo around 10 p.m. on Monday. After he was, the immigration had arrested him at a Seme border, and they said they brought him for safekeeping. He said he's in detention at the FCID Alagbo. He was arrested on Sunday, detained overnight, and taken to the FCID. He said they have a lot of cells in Alagbo, and when they have a case like that, they look for the right fit for the particular individual, for also to be able to safeguard the person in question as well. So nobody is in the cell that he's in. They don't want to put him in the male cell because of his lifestyle, so that anything will not happen. Exactly. So they are going to, they've remanded him in custody. They are going to see how that...
All right, so the Nigerian telcos operators are pushing for the regulatory body, that's the NCC, to withdraw the unstructured supplementary service data, that's the USSD services provided by the banks, due to outstanding debt of 250 billion naira. So according to them, when the banks created the USSD, it was primarily for buying airtime and data, but now the banks adopted that service to be able to transfer money and all that. But there was an agreed payment of fees for that. But now, according to the telecoms, the banks have refused to pay, and they're owing 250 billion naira. So they're asking the telcos and the NCC, that's the regulatory body, to force them to withdraw those services from them.
Can we take a story?
Okay, let me go on a very short break. When we come back, we continue with our review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.